Society has programmed you to fear being alone. From the moment we are born, we are taught that isolation is a punishment, that being by yourself means you are lonely, antisocial, or falling behind. We live in an era of hyperconnection. You're expected to be reachable 24 hours a day, constantly replying, constantly engaging, constantly performing. What is the result? A generation that is profoundly exhausted, a society running on empty, terrified of its own thoughts. But if you observe the top 1%, the elite strategists, the prolific creators, and the truly powerful, you will notice a glaring contradiction. They do not surround themselves with noise. They actively engineer their own disappearance. Welcome back to the quiet 1%. If you are an introvert, a deep thinker, or someone who feels drained by the endless demands of the social world, you are in the right place. In previous sessions, we mastered our focus, our emotions, and our mornings. Today, we master our environment. We master the profound, healing power of isolation. Subscribe now and join us in the quiet pursuit of mastery. In the next 30 minutes, we are going to completely reframe how you view solitude. We will break down the biology of social burnout, the danger of absorbing other people's limitations, and why scarcity makes you infinitely more valuable. Finally, I will give you the strategic withdrawal protocol, the exact framework to isolate yourself, heal your mind, and return 10 times stronger without damaging your relationships. Let's begin. Part 1. The biology of social burnout. To understand why isolation is a biological necessity, we must first analyze what happens to your brain when you are socializing. Extroverts process social interaction differently. For them, socializing generates dopamine. It is a charging station. But for deep thinkers and introverts, socializing is not a charging station. It is an intense, high-bandwidth data processing task. When you are in a room full of people, you are not just hearing their words. You are subconsciously analyzing their body language, monitoring their tone, predicting their reactions, and modulating your own behavior to keep the peace. Psychologists call this cognitive load. And for the quiet achiever, the social cognitive load is immense. You also have to maintain the social mask, the polite smile, the forced laugh, the energy required to pretend you are interested in trivial small talk. Wearing this mask drains your mental battery faster than any physical labor. When you feel the sudden, overwhelming urge to leave a party or to cancel plans and stay home, you are not being antisocial. You are not broken. Your nervous system is simply sending you a critical alert. It is telling you that your RAM is full and the system is about to crash. Isolation is not a retreat out of fear. It is a strategic system reboot. Part 2. The detoxification of influence. The second reason winners choose solitude is to perform a detox. Not a detox from food or chemicals, but a detox from influence. Human beings are deeply empathetic creatures. We possess mirror neurons that cause us to subconsciously mimic the emotions and mindsets of the people around us. This means if you are constantly surrounded by people who are anxious, cynical, or lacking ambition, you will absorb their limitations. You will start to mistake their fears for your own fears, their doubts for your own doubts. To find out who you actually are and what you actually want, you have to get away from the hive mind. You must enter the silence, because only in absolute isolation can the voices of society fade away enough for you to hear your own internal logic. The 1% use solitude as a psychological quarantine. They isolate themselves to cleanse their operating system of everyone else's opinions. Part 3. The incubation chamber. Once the system is rebooted and the toxic influence is purged, isolation transforms into something entirely different. It becomes the incubation chamber. Nikola Tesla famously said, "The mind is sharper and keener in seclusion and uninterrupted solitude. Originality thrives in seclusion." When you remove the distraction of other people, your brain enters a unique state of directed neuroplasticity. Without social interruptions, your subconscious mind is finally free to connect disparate ideas, solve complex problems, and generate profound insights. Every great masterpiece, every world-changing invention, every master strategy was born in a room with the door closed. If you are constantly socializing, you are consuming. But when you isolate, you begin to create. Solitude is the forge where you build your empire in secret, long before the world ever sees the results. Part 4. The Strategic Disappearance. The Law of Scarcity. There is also an incredibly powerful social dynamic to isolation. We call this the strategic disappearance. Basic economics dictates the law of scarcity. Things that are abundant are cheap. Things that are rare are highly valuable. This law applies directly to your presence and your attention. If you are always available, always replying to messages instantly, always showing up to every event, your presence becomes abundant. It becomes cheap. People will begin to take you for granted. They will assume they own your time. The quiet 1% understands that absence generates respect. When you step back, when you withdraw your energy and focus entirely on your own mission, you reset the power dynamics. You force the world to realize that your time is a heavily guarded fortress, not a public park. And when you finally do choose to emerge from isolation and speak, your words will carry the weight of a rare event. People will listen. Part 5. The Strategic Withdrawal Protocol. So how do we implement this without destroying our careers or hurting the people we love? Isolation must be tactical, not reckless. Here is the Strategic Withdrawal Protocol. 3 steps to master the art of disappearing. Step 1. The communication blackout window. You do not need to move to a cabin in the woods. Start by enforcing a strict 12-hour window every weekend where your phone is entirely powered off. No exceptions. Step 2. The boundary statement. Do not ghost your close circle. That is weak behavior. Instead, communicate your absence with high-status clarity. Tell them, "I am taking the next 48 hours completely offline to focus on some deep work and recharge. I will connect with you on Monday." It commands respect. Step 3. The incubation agenda. Do not use your isolation to mindlessly binge television or sleep all day. That is depression, not strategy. Enter your solitude with a specific mission. Read that difficult book. Map out that business plan. Face the hard truths you have been avoiding in the noise. Use the silence as a mirror, and do not look away until you have leveled up. Society will always demand your energy. It will always demand your presence, but you are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Isolation is not a weakness. It is an armory. It is the place you go to repair your armor, sharpen your weapons, and remember exactly who you are. Do not apologize for needing space. Claim it, guard it, and use it to become untouchable. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. Let us know in the comments, when was the last time you took a full day completely for yourself, and what did you build in that silence? Subscribe to the Quiet 1% for more masterclasses on deep focus, psychological resilience, and the quiet strategies of the elite. If you want to know the secret morning routine of the 1%, watch this video. I will see you in the next video. Stay composed, stay quiet.